Today we're going to discuss the abstraction of innovation, how to use abstraction to generate disruptive ideas. When I was in college, there was a class I took, thermodynamics, and one of the things that I did was I really focused on understanding the theory behind the formulas. And I spent a lot of time doing it, so while other students were working on their problems, I was really spending more time in understanding the formula and understanding how the formula was derived. And the reason I did it is that I took it actually to the abstraction level because I believe that if you understand something at the abstractual level, then you can look at any type of problem much easier. So you're kind of not looking at it going from top down. And if the problem changes, because you know the abstraction level layer of it, then you can solve it a lot easier. So I applied the same thing in terms of how I generate ideas. And this is one way I personally generate ideas. And I'll give you an example, okay? So what I do is I look at any product or service, and what I do is I abstract it at a higher level. Okay, so I'll give you an example. We'll use transportation as an example. All the cars riding around. In fact, I thought about this one morning when I was driving around at 7:30 a.m. and you have like thousands of cars on a highway, and pretty much everybody's in there alone, driving to work. So I asked myself, what is the best way to transport a human being? So it's like all those cars, everybody just like running around crazy trying to get to work. I was like, there's got to be a better solution. And so that was the first question that I used as a foundation towards abstraction, okay? Then the question I also asked myself, the second one was, how do you eliminate the need for transportation? So it's like, is it really necessary for all these people to be running around every morning going to work at 8 a.m. in the morning? So that's the question I asked. And so basically I took it from what is the best way to how do you eliminate it. So instead of using a car, what could you do to different? And how do you eliminate the use of transportation such as a car to go to work? And then also the third question I asked myself was like, well, all these people driving around in heavy traffic, and I understand, you want to go out or go to dinner or just go do some activities, but on the average, what is the primary need in the morning for transportation? What you see obviously is people going to work. So I took this whole process of, can I make a more efficient car, or can I figure out a car that can fly like in the Jetsons and go from point A to point B like work? I took that concept and I abstracted it to the point of like, how do I actually eliminate that concept? And so what I started thinking about was like a 3D virtual office. So imagine in your house you have one wall that's like thin plated sheet, it's like a huge TV camera, okay? And of course you've got cameras on you as well. And so instead of driving to work, okay, then what you can do is you can have the cameras film you while you're working, and then that is transferred over digital lines to the corporate office where you may or may not have people there, or you actually put everything in the cloud. And now what you can do is you can either have yourself represented in this virtual office, or you could license characters. For instance, if you want to be Steve Jobs for a day, you could hopefully license the image of Steve Jobs, and you could be walking around in the office as Steve Jobs or Walt Disney or Nikola Tesla. Or if you want to be Mickey Mouse for a day, you could have your character, your persona, become a Mickey Mouse for the day. And who doesn't want to work with Mickey, right? So bottom line is that you have this virtual office, and now I've taken this whole question of transportation going from point A to point B, the reasons for the transportation, and I'm diverting away from that by going abstractly higher up, and now I'm asking myself, hey, why can't I just work at home, and then why can't I transfer myself digitally to a cloud type of an environment where I'm working with my friends, and my actions at work are transferred digitally to my actions in the cloud, which led me obviously to the other concept of teleportation. Obviously you've seen Star Trek, or beam me up, Scotty. Aye, Captain, but I can't now. Now that was a really bad example of a Scottish accent. I guess because English is my second language and I'm Serbo-Croatian, it's very difficult for me to imitate Scottish accents. But bottom line is that I took the concept now from all the way from transportation towards a 3D virtual office in the clouds using digital personas to teleportation. And that's where everything is going. Do I think that teleportation will happen? I think it will. It's just a matter of when. In the meantime, if you want to create some disruptive ideas, think in the terms of abstractions, because when you do think in the terms of abstractions, then you can break all barriers and you're not confined to a certain type of thinking. In fact, you're not confined to thinking outside the box because everybody else is thinking outside the box. You're actually thinking outside what I call the circle. So you've gone way beyond thinking outside the box. And abstraction, thinking in abstraction terms, will enable you to create disruptive ideas. I know this myself because this is how I've used abstraction to come up with some really cool ideas. Until next time, so think about it.